And welcome back to another version of pregame.tv. Ken Thomson along with Vegas runner. That's right, you got the all-star team here right now. Marco D'Angelo, of course, he's gone back to his home city of Pittsburgh to make some money on his horses, spend a little of the money he's been making on the horses, and VR, finally you and I get together on a Friday.
Better late than never.
It is, no doubt about it. And, of course, plenty of stuff going on for the weekend. Of course, we got UFC in town on the Memorial Day weekend. Looking forward to that card, UFC 160. And I know it's a card that you're looking to save some people some money.
Yeah, here's the thing. I'll be there tomorrow night, and I'm pretty excited. It's a good card. And Memorial Day weekend, they knew to put the heavyweights co-main event, main event. It always brings out people because they want to see devastating knockouts, and that's what you usually get with heavyweights. Personally, I have no problem at all laying chalk if I know I'm getting the best of it, meaning I'll lay minus 1,000 if I think the true odds should be minus 2,000. Right. I have no problem doing that. But more times than not, I'm going to look to the dog side first. And quickly, the main event and the co-main event, you have a lot of chalk here with the two favorites. You have the reigning heavyweight UFC champion in Cain Velasquez in the main event, and you have the former heavyweight champion in Junior Dos Santos in the co-main event, both heavy favorites. And I'm going to tell you, I don't see any reason to fade either of these guys. This is a rematch waiting to happen, a part 3. They met once. Junior won. They met the second time, Velasquez won. And they're just headed for a course to fight one more time. The only
Did you have Velasquez in the last one?
Yeah. Here, and you know the reason because I was there actually for one of them, and I saw that Velasquez, the problem was he didn't use what his strength is, and his strength is his wrestling. For a heavyweight, once he gets somebody down and he passes their guard, they have no chance at all. But what he tried to do was strike with Dos Santos, who's the most efficient boxer, if not in all MMA, definitely in the heavyweight division.
And we found out later Junior had a knee injury, so
exactly.
He was forced to throw quickly because he knew if the fight went any type of distance, he was going to lose.
Yeah, he was in a lot of trouble.
Right.
And when you look at the Dos Santos-Hunt matchup, Hunt's in this fight because he beat, Struve, the skyscraper. And I watched that fight again the other day, and he was losing that fight, and he landed a big shot. And when you're in the heavyweights, that's what happens. You just need that one shot. So I'm not taking anything away from the kid, but now he's really stepping it up in competition. And Dos Santos is going to have a 6-inch height advantage, 3-inch reach advantage. Neither of these guys take the fight to the ground, so it's going to be a strike fest. And you just got to look at who's the better striker, and it's Dos Santos. He's more efficient. He's the better boxer. Defensively, he's better. He's going to land the harder punches. I just don't really see anywhere this fight goes that Hunt has the advantage, so I can't find a reason to bet him. And then you look in the main event, and it's the exact same thing. This is a rematch. These guys fought already. And sometimes what I like to say is, what happened in the first one, and can the guy who lost change anything?
Right.
Here's the thing. If they stay standing, Velasquez is going to take the fight to the ground whenever he wants. This is a guy who averages 6.6 takedowns per 15 minutes.
And that's what he did the first time.
That's it.
Bigfoot was done.
He was it. He took him down, passed his guard once,
right,
and outstruck him 28-1. So if Bigfoot tries to stand with him, all Velasquez has to do is withstand that initial storm and not get caught, and then take him to the ground. Because if his wants to take it out, he's going to take it out. And even though Silva being Brazilian, you think his ground game and his submission game, the problem with this fight for him is that Velasquez isn't the kind of guy who's going to grapple with you in a jiu-jitsu match. Mm-hmm. He's going to out-wrestle you when he gets you down. And then a lot of guys, them jiu-jitsu guys, aren't good with that. They're good with other jiu-jitsu guys when they're grappling, but not with a wrestler who just wants to pass your guard and ground and pound you.
We never saw Dos Santos use his jiu-jitsu.
Because you can't. You can't. Right. It's too different. Just because they're fighting on the ground in jiu-jitsu, you think that's on the ground and wrestling's on the ground. It's two different styles of fighting. And that's why when you see a wrestler and a jiu-jitsu practitioner, you got to figure which is the better guy on the ground, because he's going to more or less dominate, meaning I'm going to bend your will. You're going to fight my style fighting. And I don't see Silva being able to make Velasquez grapple with him in a jiu-jitsu contest. If they go down, it's going to be a wrestling match, and he's got no shot.
So basically, both dogs are going to need that one punch.
That's
knockout.
it. I couldn't have put it better. The only way either of these dogs are live is if they land a punch, land that flush shot. And if you're going to bank on a flush shot in MMA where there's just too many ways to lose, it's not like boxing. In MMA, there's just too many different ways to lose with submissions and the referee stoppages and knockouts and decisions. There's just so many different ways.
Let me ask you, VR, to make any type of money on this, because again, big odds you're laying on the
great
parlay them together.
Here's the problem: if you parlay them together, you got a -450, a -700, $100 parlay will get you back $40, $35, $40. It's not worth doing it. You know, I don't think the return, 30% return on your investment. If you could,
you're trying to save people money from going out and looking at the
looking for the live dog. Exactly. Right? Don't go out there and try to make a score with these big dogs. If you're going to use the favorites, maybe find another fighter and tie up a three. I've done those before with a 3-fighter parlay, even a 4-fighter parlay. If I have to tie up 2 or 3 favorites, and then look for a -150 or even a nice dog that's going to cash you.
All right, my boy Louis Dandrilli, he's one of the best. He used to actually set the odds for Canna Racing Sports.
Yeah.
Louis loves Ken Thomson. He's a -150, maybe 155 some places. So there's something I don't mind.
He's fighting a Philly boy. So Thompson's been out of the ring, out of the octagon, for a year. That's the only disadvantage. That's going to be a great fight. Both guys are standing. For selfish reasons, I got to hope Lou's wrong this time, but I respect what he's saying, and definitely Thompson should be the favorite. I thought it was going to be a little higher, to be honest with you. So at 150, I could see why you're saying go ahead and bet him.
There you go. You know what? I just listened to my boy. He's 18-6 and
can't 24. Go wrong.
Yeah, and most of them are dogs or favorites no more than 160.
Right.
You don't mind laying 160. It is funny how we balk on taking a pitcher -155, 160. UFC comes around 160, looks pretty
all
good.
Day long. All day long.
All right, there it is. VR saving you some money. Vegas Runner telling you don't bet against the top 2 in the co-main event and the main event. And of course, looking for Velasquez to take care of business. And Dos Santos setting up that third rubber match. Looking forward to that. And we'll see if Dos Santos maybe has worked on some things to find a chink in the armor of Cain Velasquez, the champ right now. That is UFC 160. It is Ken Thomson. It is Vegas Runner. We'll come back. We'll take a look at tomorrow's hockey action. My Rangers going up against the Boston Bruins. Somehow those Rangers are still alive. VR is going to let you know if they'll be alive after tomorrow here on pregame.tv.